Hello everyone, I'm Dr. S.K. Rajan. I'm the Chief of Neurospine Surgery and Additional Director of Neurosurgery at Artemis Agram Institute of Neurosciences. 30th November is Neurospine Day, and in the days leading up to the 30th of November, we at Agram Institute of Neurosciences will be conducting a series of events to create awareness around spine health. And starting with today, we will be conducting talks on various topics that impact the spine health. And today we will start with talking about the most common problem in spine, sciatica and low back pain. Sciatica is basically pain of the sciatic nerve. So what is sciatic nerve? Sciatic nerve is the largest nerve in our whole body, which is formed by uniting or joining of a few nerves in the lumbar spine. This nerve then goes down the thigh and into your legs and up to the toes. So when the sciatic nerve gets inflamed, the pain arises in the sciatic nerve. This is known as sciatica. If somebody is suffering from a low back pain and the pain then radiates from the back of the buttocks to the back of the thigh and then to the legs, then that is most likely going to be sciatica. Another characteristic of sciatica pain is that in most of the cases, it is a unilateral pain, which means only on the one leg it will impact. There are some rare causes of bilateral sciatica pain, we will discuss later, but most common symptom of sciatica is pain going from the back of the hip, back of the thigh to the leg onto one side.
यदि आप इस तरह ही हेल्थ के बारे में जानना चाहते हैं तो सब्सक्राइब करें ये चैनल द हेल्थ केयर टुडे और बेल आइकन दबाएं ताकि हर नए वीडियो का नोटिफिकेशन सबसे पहले आपको मिले.
It's important to understand that sciatica per se is not a diagnosis in itself. It is just a symptom or a representation of a disease which is causing irritation of the sciatic nerve. The most common cause of sciatica is a slip disc in our lumbar spine. Now, if you look at a normal disc, it acts as a cushion between two bones and normally provides support to the spine. But when the cushion breaks or the covering of the cushion breaks and the jelly comes out, it can cause irritation to the nerve which is going from the side and cause pain in the leg. So this is the most common cause of sciatica. And the second most common cause of sciatica is lumbar canal stenosis. Now in a lumbar spine is made up of a number of bones which each of them has a hole, and through the holes the nerves cross. So sometimes with aging the space for the nerves becomes narrow and this compression will cause sciatica. A lot of the patients who have sciatica have the fear that the sciatica is not going to be treated by medicines, it is likely to require surgery, or that the sciatica pain will not go throughout life. Now this is a misconception. Most of the cases, I would say more than 95% of the cases of sciatica become okay with help of just a set of precautions, some medicines, some physiotherapy, some exercises and some rest. In many patients, the misconception is that they will require weeks of bed rest for sciatica to get relieved. While earlier this used to be true and we used to put the patients to bed rest for quite some time, however, at this point in time, we do a completely opposite strategy. Nowadays, we try to tell the patient to take bed rest, but only for about 24 to 48 hours. The main purpose is that the muscles at the back should not become weak by a prolonged rest. While prescribing your medicines, your doctor will tell you to take a certain set of precautions so that your sciatica pain does not get aggravated. Now, these precautions include not bending forward, not sitting on the ground, not squatting, not kneeling down, not using that Indian toilet seat position, avoiding gardening, avoiding playing with pets, avoiding lifting children, and also, for example, while taking a bath, if you're used to sitting, then you should avoid a very low sitting while taking a bath. Avoid sofa sitting, which will make you sit very low. So all the events or the episodes that can increase the load on your spine or increase extremes of movement in your spine, they should be avoided.
यदि आप इस तरह ही हेल्थ के बारे में जानना चाहते हैं तो सब्सक्राइब करें ये चैनल द हेल्थ केयर टुडे और बेल आइकन दबाएं ताकि हर नए वीडियो का नोटिफिकेशन सबसे पहले आपको मिले.
In the initial part of your treatment, the doctor will recommend that you don't do any exercises of any kind. This is to allow some sort of rest to take place to your muscles as well as to your nerves. However, as the time goes by, you will be recommended a certain set of medicines which include one, core strengthening exercises where you strengthen your back muscles, your core stomach muscles. The second set of exercises will include stretching exercises where if the muscles have gone into spasm, then they are stretched so that we are able to release them. And the third set of exercises include the aerobic exercises where the aim is to increase the heart rate so that there is more circulation in your spine and we are able to get a better healing. As you can imagine, the stretching exercises come first, core strengthening comes second, and the aerobic exercises come third in the order of priority for sciatica patients. The type of things that you need to avoid in such cases is to lift any kind of weight, which means people who go to gym, they should avoid going to gym, avoid lifting weights. Also avoid sports which involve a lot of jerking like badminton or tennis. As I said before, more than 95% of patients with sciatica will become okay without requiring any major intervention, which means either surgery or injections. However, in a certain set of patients where either the pain has been very prolonged, which means more than about 6 to 8 weeks, it is not resolving or it is becoming worse despite medicines, or where the medicines have helped but the pain comes back after you stop the medicines. That subset of patients is likely to require either some injection to decrease the swelling of the sciatic nerve or maybe some decompression by endoscopy where we go inside and we remove the pressure from the nerves. In a certain subset of patients, it's a more of an emergency situation where we can't even wait for the medicines to act. Such situations arise when the patient either has a bladder or bowel involvement, or where there is a sexual dysfunction, or in patients who develop a limp because of weakness of the leg. In that small subset of patients who will require surgery for sciatica, in most of the cases it's a simple endoscopic procedure which is about a 30 minutes procedure where we go inside and we see that the nerve is either compressed by the slip disc or it is stuck to the slip disc. In those cases, through a small port we go inside, we remove the pressure from the nerves and also we remove the adhesions that are there and then we come out. So that is usually enough for the nerve to get relieved. It is similar to having something in your eye. So when you have something compressing in your eye or irritating your eye, so when you remove it, immediately you find relief. So similarly, when we remove the compression from the nerve, the patient feels immediate relief. As I mentioned previously, the surgery is basically a mechanical procedure where we are removing the mechanical pressure from the nerve. And as I have given the example, so the moment you remove a mechanical pressure from your eye feels relieved. Similarly, the nerves are also so sensitive that the moment you remove the pressure from that, they also feel relieved. In terms of safety, there used to be an issue earlier, whether the sciatica surgery will be safe or not, whether the slip disc surgery will be safe or not. However, now because of increasing technology, as you have yourself witnessed in form of mobile phones, in form of technology, there's a leaps and bounds of improvement in the technology surrounding our surgical procedures as well. So as a result, the surgery has become much safer now, so much so that we can literally call it a 99% safe spine surgery. So from my side, I would say the take-home message is that people who have sciatica, they don't need to worry at all. In more than 95% of patients, we are able to get a good relief, but especially so when they are treated primarily by in the initial phase by a good surgeon. So we would normally recommend that you visit your neurosurgeon the moment you have sciatica problems so that your treatment can be started right away. Your warning signs can be picked up. If there is any possibility of permanent damage to the nerves, that can be avoided. And in a rare case, if you require surgery, it's likely to be safe and successful.